change my background, and then
You
I
did?
changed it back. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. I was like,
yeah.
oh, I'm glad she still has that background because I went with the little characters for my background from. Oh, yes. No, that's a good one.
I had this ready and it was very bright, so I switched. I was like, you know what? We should just stick with the pro, the sailing one all week because it felt.
Because it's so amazing. It really is amazing.
But this is a good one too.
That is that went through my head as a potential background. Definitely. And we'll get to this. If you're like, what are they talking about and who is Pugson? We're going to get to that in just a little bit.
Everybody knows who Pugson is.
Before we do that, let's just officially open the show and we'll be back with you in 55 seconds. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, Nanish Prof and Adrian, for another episode of GM Farcaster. And thank you to our premier partner, Octant. Be sure to check out all the latest at octant.app and mint your Dgens and Dragons cards at highlight.xyz. GM Farcaster. It is Wednesday, June 11th, and you are here with Nanish Prof and Adrian for 29 minutes-ish of Farcaster news to start your day. And just tweeting out that we are live and GM.
Yeah, GM. Quick little announcement for people who are new. We say we start the show at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. We're off, it's like ish. So sometimes we're a little late because we're busy preparing for the show. Sometimes our producers sleep in and take the morning off and they don't get us ready in time.
I think they have the same alarm clock as Christin is the problem. And maybe that's it because her alarm clock was broken apparently.
So if you've been here for a long time, you know, like we don't always go on right at 8:30, but we do try to stick to enough of a schedule. We also say we do 29 minutes of Farcaster news. We don't even try to stick to that. We talk as much news as there is, but we appreciate everyone joining. And if you want to add our mini app, I do send a little notification. The mini app will notify you when we go live. So
yeah, exactly.
And welcome. If you're new, welcome.
And welcome. And if you are in our chat on YouTube and you do not have the same name that you do on Farcaster, let us know who you are. So we don't have to guess. We do tag you and say thanks for chatting with us, but sometimes we don't know who to tag. And I see a couple people in there that I'm not sure who to tag. So Divine, Jamo, please let us know who the heck you are so we can make sure we tag you properly. Miriam, we know who you are. And thank you, Joshua, for putting your handle right in the top level. We love that. All right, let's dive in. We have
here's a demo. As our friend Joshua, he puts his Farcaster handle in parentheses after "we got you."
Thank you. We appreciate that very much.
And if you don't want to, it's also okay. We just can't shout you out on the feed.
We just want to shout you out, which is also fine. If you don't want to be shouted out, that's perfectly fine. All right, let's go. Let's dive in. First thing, the wallet was apparently down for a minute. It's back already, but this was from Ash Money. LOL, calm down and wait for specific time. Because Molly.eth was a little concerned, clearly, and was sort of yelling. Farcaster wallet is down and no one is responding. Hate to see this, but this is not right. Someone should fix it very soon or at least say something about it. Okay. So I would say that communication would have been helpful for sure. Ash was like, just wait till Pacific time. And I think that's the difference between like people who've been here a really long time having just a lot more like tolerance for pain than those who might be newer and might be just like, this is not right. And like, you're not wrong.
Yeah,
It's
and
not right.
expectations, right? Expectations as well, which is,
Yes.
like the Merkle team, it's a tiny, it was like, especially for a long time, they've hired a lot
was
more,
two.
but it's like
For
a
a while, it
small
was two.
team that really worked Pacific, like West Coast hours, even though it seemed like 24-hour coverage. But
I really did. Yeah.
we also didn't get
So
a ton of traffic outside of
yeah.
US hours, right? So things wouldn't
Yeah.
break.
True. So we're a little more like used to it, but not wrong. They could do a little bit better with the communication. But anyway,
Yeah.
it was down.
Mika
It's back.
Doe tagged it. Mika Doe tagged Sloke and said, "Sloke, you up yet?" And guess what? He said,
He was up.
"Refresh." He said, "He's up."
I'm up. I got you.
Not the type of you up you want to get. Sorry.
Sloke you up.
While it's down.
Is your
Listen,
wife home?
this is a problem because people are starting to earn generational wealth in their warplet.
This is the problem. And when it
People
goes
need to
away, it's
know
very scary. By
Yeah.
the way, there was also a bug that was showing, what is it? Watch time, I think was the one from 10K that was showing as like 1 million plus when it's like not. It's like $10 or something. So yeah, it was there's bugs are gonna happen. This
Yeah,
is
we saw
not
that in
unusual.
Rainbow a bunch. It's like with meme
Yeah,
coins,
it
sometimes like
happens.
the meme coin, like, I mean,
Yeah,
how do you know the value of anything, and everything gets it's interesting that everything gets converted to USDC.
right. Yeah. To
But
tell you like what what the price is. We used to have that problem in MetaMask with Polygon. It would take Matic and show it as ETH, and it would like
mm.
give you very big false sense of wealth. That was just incorrect. Bullish when Farcaster network goes down. All right, dummy. That's good point. Good point.
I
So
mean, listen, if no one's using the network, it's not going to go down.
right, true story. Times when it's gone down, when it's been really busy and things have been quite bullish. So there you go. Just consider it a bull case. All right. Moving on today, and I'm going to say this at the end of the show too. We're trivia today, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and would love for you guys to play. We have $100 prize coming from Reserve, and we're very excited to also include a question about them. So here's your alpha. Go check out Reserve. Also, more alpha. If you're here all the time, you're going to be able to have a very easy time with these questions. So there you go. If you are here all the time, you should be playing trivia every week. I'm looking at you.
And this
Miriam.
is noon Eastern.
Noon Eastern.
Okay.
Yep. And you'll be playing in the app. So you need to register here where it says play now. That'll allow you to register, add the app. Same app is where you're going to go to play the game. And I'll be streaming into the app. You answer the questions right in there. There's 10 questions. And the winner or winners will split the prize pool. So
it is a live game. Also,
live game.
may not start immediately at noon. So you'll go into the mini app, you join a waiting room. Like
Yes.
you register for the game, you will join a waiting room. Just sit tight. You can chat with other people who are waiting to play. Time in crypto world is
Time
ish.
is a
We
yes,
run
time is
not like
ish.
trains. We run not like trains.
Time
But
is a construct.
we played last week. It was really fun, and there's real prizes to win. So everyone should play. What's funny is in the waiting room, there's a video that can play. The video is you doing trivia from a past week. So when I went in the waiting room last week, my first instinct was like, "Oh, I'm late."
Yeah,
to the
you're not late.
game.
You're not late.
Yeah. So if you don't be me.
Don't be her. You're not late. And also, yeah, hopefully you're fine, KBC. If you've been on the timeline at all, you'll also be able to, it's from the past week, first of all. And if you're on the timeline regularly, you'll also know a lot of these answers. So the questions are coming from what we see in Farcaster all the time. So Those are the two ways that you can definitely catch it, but it's all things we definitely talked about on GM Farcaster. So there you go. You guys have the alpha. All right, moving on. Leaderboard results from Brad Q. Inaugural top 3 600 tier. So this is exciting. So for those who may not remember or didn't see last week when the switch happened after the pro launch, those funds were put towards the rewards pool as one thing that is going to be happening. And the tiers increased and changed a little bit, and as well as the way in which rewards are calculated. So we now have a top 3 at 600 USDC. So continuing on, fittingly, Keckers is the first number 1 and her first win. That is just perfection. I just love this so much. She has finished 11 or 12 more than we'd like to count. All she had to do was take a trip to Iceland to reach number 1. Helping to pay for the travel. There we go. Next up, LV. First week pays off big at number 2, arriving as a content creator, jumping in with both feet. And then what would the inaugural top 3 be without Burtwurst? Heads up, there will be less Burt this coming week, so a spot will open, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. I have faith in Burt. This was really good to see this top 3. I was very happy to see this top 3.
Don't read that yet.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, you ready for the next part?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Actually, before I do that, I had to just shout this out from Horsefacts because it's a great point. Huge W, congrats, LV, on the first W8, W9 one-shot in the history of the leaderboard. In other words, when you hit 600 in rewards, you do have to fill out a W9 or W8 for tax purposes. And he did it in one shot. So first week,
Congrats.
we need your tax info, sir. Like, congratulations.
You're on payroll.
You're on payroll now.
You're considered an independent contractor now on the Merkle team.
There you go. This Pugson returns to the top 5, and Matthew B gets closer to buying Dan the dishwasher. If you know, you know. Each collecting $350 along with the other top 10s. So exciting stuff. I thought it was 300, but maybe it was 350. Down leaderboard, shout out to Miguel Garest.eth at number 19 for pro NFT design. We didn't get him to the top 10, but $125 isn't peanuts. Daryl Yo and Lauren Messner hold on to 29 and 30 for 125. Meme coveted 69 is taken by Procoin. That's funny. And we welcome back Woj.eth to a more competitive leaderboard than his last time here at number 71. Time to step it up. 3,000 now get rewards. Watch for new folks. So very exciting. And you know what's kind of funny is that I was further down on the leaderboard this week, but made $5 more. So there you go. So that worked out good.
Lesson in there.
There's a lesson there. I don't know what it is, but it's good. So yeah.
Apparently,
cool.
Pugson is a trending topic.
I may have to switch. I may have to move
wait.
ahead.
I'm checking my. I can't find the trending topics right now. It's nothing. I don't see any trending topics. So
just go to trending. Just go to trending. He's there. So hold on. I might have to jump ahead a little bit to explain the Pugson of it all.
My background.
Yeah, I might have to just jump just quickly.
Oh, actually,
hold on.
I can't see the machine learning. Here are the trending topics for some reason.
Oh.
But when I go to trending and just scan through, there are quite a few mentions of Pugson. So
there you go. Yeah, that's what I meant. Like I know. Yeah, who's Pugson? This is a good question. Oops, that's the wrong one.
We don't
come back over here.
I don't mean to.
I'm jumping ahead. It's okay. I just had to get it ready. We got to explain the Pugson of it all. We can't just leave it hanging, but I wasn't quite ready with that one. I was gonna save that for a little bit, but we're gonna move ahead. It's been an interesting night for Pugson, who woke up and went, "What is happening?" I think he's in a different part of the world, and while he was sleeping, things got interesting. So here's why Pugson is trending. So he shared this yesterday, which was, I really wish someone at Boy would stop this from happening automatically. So he's getting notifications because somebody was basically spamming him with the bots were spamming, saying, said Pugson, said Pugson. So he was getting tagged in all these notifications. And then where is my PFISTA one? Oh, here it is. So there was he got hit with the copy pasta bots. And then what happened was that everyone decided to tag him in all the things. So this was Priyanka attempting to start a numbered thread on Farcaster, but this time you say Pugson, followed by a number. She meant a number first. But anyway, I'll start one Pugson. So within this thread, you'll see lots of Pugson. Also, this is another way to do it. You could just type Pugson over and over and over again, which explains Adrian's current background. So this was from PFISTA. The copy pasta bots got to Pugson, so we updated our spam filter to suppress notifications that are on the Farcaster spam list. So that's good. So Pugson will only get notifications if non-spam accounts say Pugson, hence why non-spam accounts decided to say Pugson. And you'll only get notifications when legit accounts mention any of your keywords. So that was a nice change from Boy. And in the process, we get a new meme. So there you go. Pugson, Pugson, Pugson. So very funny. I like when things like that happen. They're just amusing to me. So that was kind of fun. All right, back to our other things. Here we go. I had to switch back to my other screen, my other window. All right. So this also from Priyanka. Let me group mini apps into folders, please. This is too chaotic, and I could not agree more. I need like a little game folder, a little productivity folder. I would be able to use. I would use probably a lot more of these apps if I was more in tune with where they were and what they were. So please, folder of some sort or some kind of organization in some way that you find more appealing. Block time, but somebody do something. Designer do
I don't think
something.
it's going to happen.
Devs do something. It will.
I think folders. I think folders are in the same category as hashtags.
Yeah, probably.
Which is like humans trying to create organization when we need to outsource to all the AI.
That works too, but it needs to. That's what, like, however, whatever way in which you'd like that to happen.
Give us an out. Something. Be like, here's your most used mini apps.
Something.
Here's one you added 6 months ago, and maybe you want to check it out again.
I reorganize mine on a regular basis, but it's a lot. It's just a lot. And then, yeah. So please.
Right. Ability to sort.
A to Z.
Yeah,
that works too. I take that. Like favorite ones and then A to Z would be fantastic. That would be helpful as well. So some kind of organization. Please, the people want the organization.
Also, why I don't see GM Farcaster in your mini app list, Priyanka?
This is an excellent point. Let me just make sure. There it is.
Oh,
there it is. It was just hidden from the screen.
I apologize. Last?
It was hidden from the screen. Sorry,
she
Priyanka.
Reorganized, just last added.
She has not reorganized, but it is there. So very important. It is there. We don't want to shout her, we don't want to shame her if unnecessarily. We will shame, but just not unnecessarily.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
Sorry, Priyanka. Moving on. This from Linda. Just got my DevCon Dev Connect ticket for November 17th to 22nd in Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires has been one of my favorite places I've ever been. Met so many wonderful crypto people there and excited to go back. I believe that's where Mr. Poap is from as well. So I know this was one that you really wanted to go to. I know you mentioned it at some point, Dev Connect in general. So is that something you're thinking about or no?
It would be fantastic to go, but I don't know. No plans.
Okay. Well, if somebody wants to pay Adrian to go, there we go. And then this from, where is my thing from Dish? Oh my goodness, everything's messed up. I can't find my cast from Dish, but Dish is going to be speaking about Clanker at Permissionless, and you're also going to be heading to permissionless, at least to do some podcasting. So that's exciting. So we'll look for that in a couple of weeks. More info
also,
coming.
Yeah. Permissionless in Brooklyn, June 24th through 6th.
Is it in Brooklyn? I wasn't sure if it was just in New York proper or.
It's in Brooklyn.
It's in Brooklyn. Okay.
Be there. Hit me up. Would love to meet up with people. And I do have 90 minutes in the Uniswap podcast studio.
Exciting.
And we'll be doing a nice little recording sesh of talking to Farcaster friends. So excited for that.
Yeah, that's going to be really fun. I'm having FOMO already about that one. So, all right, moving on.
I'm going to see, we shame people, but people can shame us back.
Yeah,
when GM Farcaster store to buy mugs.
Shame me.
And then maybe if we sell mugs, I could send myself to Argentina.
Soon. I know. I feel bad. You have no idea how ready it almost is. And I've had little tweaks that I wanted to do before I put it out in the world. And I just need to get over myself. All right. This from Honorary. If you have the Coinbase wallet beta, you'll see a 6-tab shipping this week. Any guesses on what it is? And notifications was my guess. And notifications was the answer. So if you update your Coinbase wallet, so if you don't have auto update, go into your app store, update Coinbase wallet, and you will see the notifications are now in there, the little bell. So I just did a little update and yep, that was it. So more things coming to the wallet soon. Soon, Sig Wider. Is that just going to be up on the screen now for the rest of the show?
Did I just put that back up?
Yes, you did.
I did not mean to. That was.
I'm just going to periodically shame you.
I was. I'm literally checking to see if why my Coinbase wallet didn't update because I have auto updates on.
By the way,
I must have elbowed my mouse.
Adrian will just be multitasking at all times.
I know. I'm half casting.
I said Coinbase wallet needed to update. And she's like, oh, let me go check for that.
Well, because I checked for that 6th tab and I didn't get it yesterday, and I was like, oh, but
that's weird. That's odd. Yeah, check. Okay, make sure it's updated. Moving on. This from Garrett Drana. Just found out I'm marked as spam on Farcaster. This is such a frustrating UX to be considered a spammer until proven innocent. And then DWR said, You're not. And Garrett said, thanks, Dan. I was spam labeled 0 earlier today in the label spam.json. Helps when you can look at that before or know where to look for that before Honorary recasted me and I got 10 followers. So this is kind of the stuff that Peachy talks about all the time. So if you think you are spam labeled, go follow Peachy and just see what she says about all this because she's got it on lock.
Yeah, or get a job at base and have Honorary recast you, and then you're golden.
And then you're golden as well. Yeah, and this was interesting. Yeah.
Obviously, I'll be honest. I don't actually stay too focused on the labeling. Peachy does that for me.
Yes, exactly.
But I think is it still the -1 0 +1?
Yes.
Categories.
It's 0 to 2 or something. I think something like that. Yeah, 0, 1, 2. And I think everyone must start at 0 is my guess because that's what Honorary is saying here. Most of our team who gets started on Farcaster today are marked as spam. Garrett Drana is an amazing DS, data scientist at Base, who is helping us solve issues like this, which is interesting. So there you go. He was doing a little research there in the process. And now I think he's all set now. So if you're having the same issue, like I said, best thing you can do is follow Peachy, tag her.
There should be
I guess better way to do this. Yeah.
I get the kind of you have to kind of prove yourself a little because
but there's a lot of bots, there's a lot of spammers. Yeah.
Right. So, can you do an indication of spam label plus time of account? When did you create your account? And if you're within your first month, who cares what your spam label is? Although I guess that's also all the new. I mean, if you are a bad actor too.
If you're a bad actor, you're gonna. It's a problem.
So
this is why we can't have nice things.
This is why there's data
This is
scientists
why.
looking at all other things
Yeah.
beyond just simple when do you create your account.
Yeah. This is why we can't have nice things. So hopefully it'll be interesting to see how Coinbase Wallet attacks this, because I'm assuming that's why they'll have somebody looking at that sort of thing. So that'll be interesting to see how that turns out if they do something different. And I'm
Would be funny if
guessing
this
that they
guy's not.
might.
It would be funny if this guy's not even a real guy, he's an AI, and Coinbase Wallet is trying to harden the system by bringing in, and then he comes and scams us all. But it's
Excuse us
by,
all.
I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. Dre, what was his name?
This poor guy. He's like, what?
We- Well, of course I'm kidding. And welcome to Farcaster.
And
And
welcome to
help us make
Farcaster.
it
Yeah.
better for new people.
Exactly. All right, just pulling up more links because I'm trying to do this something new where I don't have them all open just to make sure we don't rug or something. So we're getting there. Okay. Hold on. Here we go. Oops. It would help if I share it. We had a few interesting things happen yesterday too, around some of the censorship stuff we were talking about yesterday. So this was from Eliza AOS over on Twitter, has been banned. So unprecedented X ban against Eliza AI16Z, Sean Makes Magic, and Eliza OS, all accounts suspended. Did X decide to take out Eliza to stop the growth of botnets? Maybe. Also, I heard they were doing some kind of big launch or something, so that there was a bit of suspicion that maybe somebody got them banned. I don't know. Interesting. So this is from Sean Makes Magic. Well, I'm a Farcaster man now. So, I mean, this is one way to onboard people. Just look for the ban list. Have you been banned on X?
He could have gone to Blue Sky.
True.
He chose Farcaster.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
surprised.
that's not surprising. Sean Makes Magic was not going to Blue Sky. But yeah, so glad you're here. But also, yeah, what is going on? Like, why? I'm curious to see how this works out and how long to get it back. We saw this happen with Jake fairly recently as well. So if you're over on Twitter, and should you ever find yourself banned over there, if you're watching us over there right now, come on over to Farcaster. But you should come over to Farcaster anyway. Have it all set up ahead of time. That way you don't have to, you have a little backup plan.
Yeah, a lot of people get banned and then get unbanned.
Yeah.
But it's not actually it's never happened to me, so I can't speak from first person experience, but I can't imagine it's a good feeling when how you communicate and connect with people and like show up in the world just gets taken away.
Especially if it's your business.
Yeah.
It's your business too. Like, it's not even, it's not just about personal. I can't ship post today. Yeah, exactly. And it's crazy. I've seen this, we've seen this happen with a lot of different people for a lot of different reasons, and especially in crypto. So, but welcome, Sean Makes Magic. I know you've been over here for a bit, but yeah, now you have more reason to be. And if you're, this would be a great ad on Twitter as well. Have you been banned on Twitter? If you like a personal injury attorney ad, have you been banned on Twitter? There's a solution. We have a solution for you.
1-800
there you go.
Farcaster.
Come over to Farcaster. And this from Jimmy No Rules. Okay, I have to go back. Hold on. We got to go back a couple to make this make sense. It started with, I believe, Nikki, and I'm going to follow you, Nikki. I believe it started with Nikki. What if your money worked 24/7? You had full control. No bank ever said no again. That's not a dream. It's DeFi. And then we had Android 16 say, what if your money was vulnerable 24/7? You had full risk. Every bank said no. That's not a dream. That's crypto. And then Jimmy No Rules coming in with the extra funny, what if your toast always landed butter side down? You had to fight a goose before every meeting. Every vending machine was out of snacks, but took your money anyway. That's not a dream. That's Tuesday. to like this one. So
Jimmy's funny.
there you go. Jimmy, that one was really good. That was very clever. So thank you for that. This from Ponder. Featured week starts now. More money, more fun. 3K plus in prizes. To be eligible for giveaways, follow Ponder, add the app, and turn on notifs. Like and recast this particular one, which will be in our show notes if you need to find it again, or just go to Ponder and look for this one. And vote in the Giga Pool 1K pool, which is also below. So right here, it's this particular answer that you're going to do. And the pool is up to over 2,000 right now. That's kind of crazy. So go check that out. Big promo week for Ponder, our friends at Ponder, which we do love. We love to ponder. Moving on. This was almost my other background choice. I went back and forth on this, but this was, and I was so confused. I didn't know what was happening, because if you saw this Soda 95, or you saw where is, oh shoot, I don't have lamb chops. Oh, here's lamb chops. Or you saw this one, Diet Windows 95. You might have been confused, because I was confused. I was very, very confused. But here's what was going on. Okay, this is happening. Lamb chop versus SDV.eth design. Windows 95 Soda, deliverable, still image, deadline 1 week. So this was a design challenge. Windows 95 Soda remake. Was this ever a real soda is my question. I don't think I want the answer to that. So this was SDV's design. So very fun. Zero AI, 100% organic DOS. Cute, very cute. And then this was Lamb Chops, Diet, Windows 95. And she said, this piece was super fun to make. I'm a huge fan of Microsoft aesthetic and wanted to honor it in this iteration. I made sure to research each element and the visual history Windows 95 to create this as authentically as possible. So this is really fun. And there's voting going on. There's certain voters though. So it's not, there's a team of voters who are voting between these two. Adrian, do you have a favorite?
Okay, so obviously you're talking. I'm going to do my research. Google Windows Soda. Holy cow. It was
a thing?
I've seen this so I saw the battle, the duel, and I was so excited for it. Like, this is what I love. Like, I'm here for this on Farcaster.
Yeah, this
like,
is so fun.
designers
Yeah.
battling. Obviously, I thought someone just like the weird minds are just like, yeah, well, two things.
Yeah.
We'll just put them together. Apparently, Windows Soda was a thing, but also it also makes me think in the age of AI, going back to what we talked about yesterday with Rock camera. Was it really a thing? I'm like, what was the date on this image? Like, was it pre-AI? Anyway,
right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was real. I was like, is this real? Chat, is this real?
But are people voting today? Like, I don't know. I don't want to influence people's votes.
There is a vote. There's a vote happening. Hold on, let me find. Oh, I'll tell you who it is. Here it is. I was like, where is that cast that had the voters? There's a panel of amazing designers and artists who are voting. So Light and Flood and Early Range, Sinuous Sadal Snail, and Pugson, who are voting on this. So they're going to decide between these two. And voters, please comment here which one you like best. But also, you can give your, you could influence the situation if you want to. So waiting for them to apparently to make their comments. But there you go. So you can learn more from Blank Space post right here if you want to see who ended up winning.
Well, obviously, I'm not going to pick a favorite. It's like picking a favorite child. They're both. Like,
they're both really good.
You're going to pick honestly, a favorite Farcaster designer? No.
I like them both. I really do like them both. So I don't know. I couldn't.
And I'm so glad different.
I'm glad I don't have to decide. Exactly. Is what I will say. I'm really glad I don't have to decide. All right. Speaking of fun events that are happening, it is Berlin Blockchain Week coming up, and Octant's going to be there. It's happening. Actually, it's happening right now, I believe. And so you can learn more about that. I did cast this into the Octant channel. So learn more about where they're going to be. This is their blog post with all the details of where they're going to be. And Africhicks is also going to be there. And this is from her. The last time I was in Berlin was for a European champs, heading back there to create video content at the DACC Discovery Day, led by Vitalik.eth, co-hosted by Octant. So that's going to be really fun. That's today, actually. It's happening right now, I think. It's Silent Green Berlin, and this is hosted by Octant, but there's a whole bunch of other things happening this week. So go check that out if you're in Berlin. I think that's going to be really fun.
She's got the greatest story.
Yeah, I know.
Right. Like,
I know. It's so cool.
Professional triple jumper / crypto content maker. And go. By the way, was that a picture of Toady? Oh no, I get them confused when they're jumping. They look so similar.
I was like, what? Call back. It's a
you know what? You're right. That is Naomi in that picture. But for a second, I thought it was Toady.
Very, very close. Similar form, clearly.
Yeah.
For those who might have missed it, Toady, during the Pro Coin little challenge where you had to shout out your favorite Farcaster, he did this video where he actually attempted a triple jump while holding his camera. It didn't go well. So, but it was really, really funny. So go check that out if you haven't seen that. But it was really good. So it took me a second. I was not following where you were going with that. And then it clicked. I'm like, oh, callback. Very funny. Very, very funny. So let me pull up a few more things. I had a few more things to talk about. Okay. I'm trying this new thing where I don't have all the tabs open because it's been killing my computer. But then that takes a minute for them to actually open up. So one moment,
how's that going?
please. It's a work in progress. It's not going great. We need other solutions, like fewer links is probably it. That's not happening. It's only getting bigger. This is from honorary, and I thought this was a great, great point. Here's what creators need to start earning on other social platforms. TikTok, you need 10K followers plus 100K views in 30 days. Plus, there are geographic restrictions. On Twitter, 5 million impressions in 3 months, meaning tens of thousands of followers. On YouTube, 1K subscribers and 3K watch hours or 10 million shorts views. So by the way, if you're watching us on YouTube or even on our mini app, could you go over to YouTube and just subscribe if you're not already subscribed? Because we're like this close to actually being able to earn on YouTube. I don't think it's going to be much, but it's nice. It's a nice thing to have. So that was but then what she ended with the new Coinbase wallet, we want to start to enable creators to earn their terms instantly. So that would be interesting to see what they're doing over there. We know that what Farcaster is doing at the protocol level with the rewards. I don't know if Coinbase Wallet is thinking something additional in terms of incentives to use Coinbase Wallet. So if you have access to beta, I would, make sure you're checking it out and getting in there. But interesting. So I did think that was interesting. This was really funny. So last night I've been doing my son does all the New York Times puzzles like every day, loves them, really good at them, kicks my butt on a regular basis. Like I suck. So I was showing him mini word and thinking, oh, maybe this will get him to want to join. And this was really funny. So this is from last night. Just did mini word with the kiddo. Yeah, that first clue was a tad embarrassing. If you played mini word yesterday, you know what I'm talking about. And he thinks you must be cheating, Zoo. Best I've ever, he said, this is what my son said, best I've ever done. A New York Times one is 32 seconds, like one time. No way Zoo gets that every day. This might be the thing that gets him on Farcaster finally, just trying to beat Zoo. So the reason I was saying this too was that there is something about the competition part of this, right? To have, by the way, Zoo said, tell him I believe in him. And he actually dropped I can't find it. He dropped a video also with him completing it. And he does do it that fast. So what are you gonna do? He's just that fast. So it's quite impressive. But I
It is
think
hard
that
to type that
social
fast.
graph, it is very hard to type that fast.
By the way, the New York Times mini, like you can play that on your phone. That's faster. So
Yeah.
there's it. I think it's just the kind of the keyboard inside of a
Yeah.
mini app. I remember Matthew created like some game, like it was like the Family Feud style game
Yeah.
that people used to play,
And you had
where
to go
there was
fast,
something that
right?
was also
Yeah.
timed, and I
Yeah.
remember getting frustrated with the keyboard.
Mm-hmm. So it's quite impressive. It is quite impressive how quickly he does this. And it really made me think about, though, the power of the social graph and being able to see who you're competing against. And I feel like that is a little bit of a superpower for Farcaster that we all kind of see, but I don't think it's fully unlocked yet. And I think
Yeah.
there is a big thing to that. So playing these games where you're competing with your friends, like people do this already, right? Show me your time, this and that, but having this public leaderboard where you don't have to, do it sort of privately, send it in a group chat, whatever, and you may even get rewarded for being at the top of the leaderboard. Same thing with Farcade, being able to challenge friends, being able to see who within your friends, having that separate leaderboard that's just for people that you're friends with, as well as a global one. I think it's a huge unlock. I really do. So shout
Totally.
out to the
And
game devs.
we
Yeah.
didn't talk about Apple announcements this week,
We did not. Yeah.
nor do
Yeah, I
I
know.
really want to. But if you watched kind of just the few minute overview of like this is like these are the things they were updating. One of the things they're showing is in group messaging, like in your group chats, just
Yes.
the
Yeah.
ability. They were like, we're adding polls. This is all native, like native to. So it's like
Yeah.
chat with your friends, create a poll. Hey, where do you want to go to dinner tonight? Things
Yeah.
like and then immediately adding in Apple Cash. It's like pay your friends. So it looked so similar to what we know as the Farcaster experience, except this is
Yep.
all walled garden, corporate driven, all coming from Apple
Exactly.
in their ecosystem. No green, don't get those green circles in. No green bubbles allowed,
No
but
green bubbles.
also no, you're going to be limited with innovation because you have kind
Yeah.
of one company working on it, not an invitation for anyone to build. So, as much as the polish, I'd say, around Farcaster isn't quite there yet, because guess what? It's brand new. So, like, yeah, the keyboard's a little slower to type on. But it's like the vision for what Apple was showing, it was like the same as Farcaster, except
Yeah.
now you've got ponder polls
And
and
Telegram. The other thing that kept coming to my head when they were talking about that part with the messaging,
mhm,
I was like, Telegram. Telegram has some powerful features in there that Apple iMessage just doesn't. So
right.
it
And
seems
probably
like they're
Apple's
chasing.
copying Telegram.
Yeah.
I don't really,
I mean,
but
they could be they could be copying Farcaster. I suppose that's
I doubt it.
possible. There might be copy. Yeah, I don't think and I'm sure a lot of this they are so far out that I'm sure a lot of this innovation was in the process and it takes a while to get it right. But yeah, very interesting to see. Great point. Great point. So you've already got it with Farcaster. You didn't even
And we
have to
started
go
seeing,
anywhere.
I mean, this is what I'm most interested in, which is like kind of like who wins? Is it like the inside out technology coming from the banks and the big corporations and existing giants, or is it kind of outside in coming from crypto?
Yeah.
And what you start seeing is like these visions starting to look the same. Like X wants to integrate payments for everywhere,
Yep.
Poly Market for prediction polls. Okay, but X is a corporation and but it's adding all this stuff,
And
right?
they will make those choices. So they are making the choices as opposed to random person on Farcaster creating a mini app that, you know, like
But they
Ponder,
network
like
effects, that's where
whatever.
everybody is, right? That's where
Yeah.
everybody is, and they have
Right.
tons of I mean, just the AI data centers that Elon's building and with Grok. So it's kind of like what happens faster? Is it
Right.
existing networks that's adding in all of these features, or is it kind of coming from the bottom up and does Farcaster win over time or another? So
I think there's potential for Farcaster to win over time because of the openness and the APIs and being able to iterate a little bit faster, like because you don't have all of that corporate structure to work through, number one. And number two, you have more brain power at work, really, if you think about it, because you've got all these devs creating all these things and using AI as part of that to do that. So that's a ton of brain power happening
Yeah.
and creativity that you're not going to see as much on Twitter simply because of the cost and the prohibitions around the APIs and things like that. And things like we just saw with Sean Makes Magic,
Mhm.
and the Eliza OS team, like great example. Like you could get cut off at any time. So your incentives to build over there are not as there are some limitations and there's
Yeah.
some
I mean, there's
potential
incentive. They can
risks.
incent
There's
you,
risks.
but
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. There's big risks. Whereas if you build something over here, even if the Merkle team is like you're nerfed on the Farcaster app, you can go elsewhere.
Mhm.
So anyway, just if you're building, this is the reason. And here's some more reasons. So my last 3 casts are all about Farcaster love from various people. So this is from Kaufman, who is an independent journalist and has been here, I don't know, maybe 6 months now I don't know if it's even been that long. It feels like forever, but it probably hasn't been that long. This from Coffin. Farcaster maintaining a steadfast commitment to free speech is vital to its continued growth. There's a real degree of civility here. The easy explanation for that is that the community is still small. So people are polite in the same way Iceland is civil or a country club is civil. But I suspect there's another dimension to it. There's money on the line here, and acting rude is a bad way to get people to want to give you any. Good point. Show me the incentive. I'll show you the outcome. Maybe. Hopefully that insulates this place from needing to crack down on the kind of bigotry or harmful posting you see on other platforms. But either way, let Substack be the model for Farcaster. Better to allow some vile posting and let the social marketplace sort it out than to step into the quagmire of censorship according to shifting social norms. And this was a quote cast of Sean Makes Magic, number one reason to use Farcaster and showing his account suspended. So really, yeah, that is one big thing. And then I loved this framing from Cassie. The reason I draw parallels to the hobby computer industry is because the same kind of niche user base exists. People who are willing to put up with super leaky abstractions, exposed wires, and rough edges to make a spreadsheet or draw a circle. Much like Apple's vision of the bicycle for the mind of personal computing, crypto needs its own story to tell, and money isn't compelling enough. That's just an application. If you were to distill the unique attributes of crypto and then amplify that soul distillation into a single message, as what is the ultimate purpose of crypto, you would say that it gives you autonomy, freedom to move, to interact across borders with a unified store of trust. If personal computers took off because they were the bicycle for the mind, crypto will take off as the passport for the mind. And I loved that phrasing. So thank you, Cassie. It also reminded me of her FarCon talk about like personal computing through history. It was fantastic. So that was from last year, not this past year. So amazing. And then this from Triumph to cap us off today. A whole lot of you have become people I can't imagine not seeing in my feed every day. Yet sometimes I'm reminded people do log out and not log back in, choosing to disappear into the abyss of the internet. Need to stop taking it for granted. Many things are more fragile than we care to admit. Once again, I miss picnic. It's down here. So picnic, if you're out there and you happen to be watching this, come on back. Yeah. So what did I miss,
That
Adrian?
I don't
I love
know.
that
Should we
sentiment.
pour one out
Yeah.
for people who
Yeah.
disappear
Pour one out for the
quietly?
people who
That
disappear.
is actually one of the worst things about social is
True.
you don't know, like some people announce their exit, like some people
Yeah.
announce their departure. We make fun of them, but we appreciate it. And we know.
Yeah. Cause then we know where you went.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, what else? What'd you ask me?
And
I
I
love
think some
Farcaster
people
is the
disappear, but
answer.
they don't really disappear. Like they say they're leaving and then they're back. Most of the time, the people who tell us they're departing do come back. Just funny. And the ones who don't come back. The Irish exiters usually, oftentimes, are never seen again. And then sometimes it's just the slowly people stop posting.
Yeah.
They get busy with other things, and then sometimes they circle around. It's like cyclical. Yeah. So other thoughts? Anything else today that?
No, but have I told you I love Farcaster?
I do as well, which is good since I've decided to make it my whole personality. So my brother, it was funny when I was at my brother's, which I'm going to be back there this weekend. He's like, I was wearing, I think a couple times I wore my GM Farcaster shirt or other crypto things. And he's like, do you have any other clothes? No. And I'm like, no. Why do I need other clothes?
Yeah.
And speaking of, if you love Farcaster, just going to remind you one more time today, GM Farcaster Trivia at 12 p.m. noon Eastern. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Come play, chance to win $100 or split the winnings. So if you love Farcaster as much as we do, you're going to do great at this. It's going to be very simple for you. Yeah, I tried to make a couple of the questions a little bit harder this week because I was too easy last week. So, but they still have a ramp up. So you'll be okay until you get towards the end. And if you watch this show, you'll be okay right through the end. So there we go. All right. Usually it's have I told you I love you? Yeah, no. She said, have I told you I love Farcaster? It wasn't about me, Mikado. Wasn't about me. Was Woj nerfed? Not per se. He wasn't nerfed, no. He just he is no longer working with Merkle, if that's what you mean. So he's back on the leaderboard. Yeah, we need to tell people watching to hit the subscribe button. Were you gonna grab that? Yeah, grab that one. Hit the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. I really hate saying that. It's so cringe.
Where's
but also,
Hamalama
please do
when
that.
we need him?
I know Hamalama does that for us, and it makes our lives easier. All right.
Okay.
Anything
If you're
else?
listening on Spotify, Apple, also subscribe there. We
love you.
appreciate it and love you. And
Hey, our listens on Spotify are going up. So
hi, Spotify.
So hi, Spotify. We love you. That's actually where I listen to and watch a lot of my podcasts. And if you're doing a podcast that's you do capture the video and you only put the audio on Spotify, I'd like to know why. And stop doing that. Just put the video on there too, please.
Are you watching video on Spotify?
Most of the time, yeah. If it's available, but sometimes it's not. So I do.
I am still a audio maxi.
Are you really? Oh, I prefer video. I like seeing the nonverbal cues and things like that. So if at all possible, even if I'm
Just
not
like voices in my ear. I
likes
actually
the
don't want to
voices
see
in her
people's
head.
faces.
She likes the voices in her head.
Because they drown out my own. It
Exactly. Exactly.
Is this a real question, Red Wings?
Yes.
Is GM Farcaster? Of course, we are literally everywhere.
We're everywhere.
Everywhere.
When we say we are everywhere you get your podcast, we mean everywhere.
If you listen to podcasts somewhere and we're not there, please let us know. Because I
where that
think
is,
we're
and we will be there.
And also, yeah, so go subscribe to us on Apple too. On all the places.
All the places.
It's okay.
Any place that you get a podcast, go subscribe to us there. And if you'd like to leave a little review or whatever, if that's available, feel free to do that too.
Oh my God, we've reached that point.
Yeah, we've reached that point.
Asking for ratings. And
I'm
reviews.
mostly focused on the YouTube one because I didn't realize that 1,000 whatever was an important number, and I'm like, oh, we're really close.
Yeah,
we're like 40 away. Like, let's do this.
And then that means, though, then for you to start monetizing, then ads get interjected into. Do we want that?
Do we want that? Should we not have people subscribe?
Should we just amp up the hyper sub? And I don't know.
That's a good point.
Or just do everything.
We have other places you can watch it. So there you go. All right. And with that, we will be back So here's what's happening for the rest of the week. Trivia today at noon. Tomorrow at noon, we will have our last FarCon bit of content. That will be the Hackathon Awards, our interview with Dylan and Emma, and our interview with Toady and Rachel Wilkins. So that's tomorrow at noon. We'll be doing a watch party, and then it'll be available on all the places. And then Friday, Adrian will be doing the show without me, with Erica. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I will be trying to watch. I think I'll be on the road at that point. But I'll try to give it a watch and jump into the chat and just, torture them a little bit. It'll be fun. So that is the schedule, because I am jumping in the car this afternoon. So I've been packing while I've been doing all this, and I'm like kind of losing it. Because I'm going to be gone for about a week and a half, and we're doing a little college touring and a little vacay and a little seeing the family, but we're doing it as a big road trip. So last family trip. Here we go.
Yeah.
So here we go. And with that, everyone, we're going to call it. Anything else, Adrian, before we?
No, but I'm going to miss you Friday. Have good travels. Make sure you travel vlog or travel log.
I'm going to make sure to do that. And so you'll see me on the timeline for sure. You just won't see me on your screens. So until next week. And then we'll be back next Tuesday, not Monday. So taking a little bit of a little break. What was that comment? I missed that one. Gianparcus, get no commercials. That would be ideal. We have it's so funny that we have significantly more followers on Farcaster than we do anywhere else. But I suppose that's the way it should be. We just need you all to go. If you're following us on Farcaster, go follow us on all the other places too. Thank you. All right, everybody. We'll be back later for those who are playing trivia. And otherwise, Adrian will see you on Friday. And until then, bye-bye.